Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to GrowedUpGeek Gaming, your home for narrative and roleplay focused Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play campaigns. I am your host and Dungeon Master, Manny, at GrowedUpGeek on your social media, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. If you like what we do here, please give us a like, follow, subscribe, anything that shows affirmation on your platform of choice. It is Wednesday, so tonight we present our high-level limited campaign, Dynasty of Dragons. We've seen some dragons so far, 5 episodes in. We saw a lot of them, actually, or at least the potential for a lot of them. Probably see more, unless this is the ultimate subverting of expectations ever. So we will meet our amazing cast. We will do a quick recap. We were off last week. And then we will jump into episode 5, A Dynasty Sought. Let us start with meeting our outstanding cast. We will see how we're feeling at this moment before the anticipation of combat breaks down. Let us start with Robin, the kind of question-asking member of the party, even questions that she doesn't know if they're the correct answers to. No proficiency in medicine, despite wanting to do an autopsy. Hey, ask the questions. Tell us about Tess, and by you guys, the group, expectations, there's about to be some combat. How you feeling?
Well, you know, sometimes you got to get into a fight. It just is what it is. Not really her expertise, so we'll see how it goes. But otherwise feeling a little confused because where'd Banquo just go? Actually, no, sorry, all of that's wrong. Because she rolled a nat 1 on her perception check. She's on a horse.
You are walking like chumps.
Just vibing.
Yeah.
So I'm playing Tes'serana Whitlock, the half-drow artificer and divination wizard, who knows that if you don't try things, you don't get the answers to the questions that you don't know how to answer.
Yes, just ask them anyway. Awesome. All right, let us slide over to the generous patron of the crafting arts in Melvaunt, and reluctant individual to acknowledge a former classmate. Raz, tell us about Daemion and what you're thinking, believing combat is imminent.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's the sort of bounty hunter of the group, and he's been itching to get on the road since day one. So, you know, by his perspective, we're already a little behind schedule, but we did manage to fleece a particularly irritating individual once or twice, and made some contacts in town. We're feeling pretty good, but he's feeling a little high strung, and suddenly we heard something on the path.
Indeed. We will see what that is in just a moment. Let us slide over to somebody who does not need to find out what may be out there. Ari decided he was going to throw on the ring and just, boom, disappear. Nick, tell us about Banquo, and obviously we can anticipate how you're feeling about apparently imminent combat as you decided to go invisible.
Yeah, so Banquo is the lore master of the group. He is interested in stories, tales, legends, and data. Like Daemion, he's also eager to get up to figure out what's going on in this mystery town, these mystery towns that we're going to be going to, and hearing all of the assurances from that jackass that there's nothing going on and everything's perfectly safe tells me that the opposite of that is probably the case. So yeah, he's just ready for some sort of undead orc, whatever, to be what's going on. But of course, he doesn't want to just start flinging fireballs the moment he hears something. So he's going to go invisible and see what he can see.
Okay. Is this one of those things where, like, you are so hell-bent on knowing that you're right, that the mayor's kid was kind of a jackass? Would it be the worst thing if he was right and you didn't have to fight either orcs, ogres, undead, or combinations thereof?
Wouldn't be the worst thing, but it would be pretty bad.
We're never going back to this town ever again. Fuck that guy. All right, well, we shall see who turns out to be right. Spoiler alert, it's probably you guys. All right, last and not least, our gentle giant of the group. Always down for trying to steal a dead dragon or a good old autopsy. John, tell us about Basall.
I wasn't stealing a dead dragon. I was appropriating it for science.
I mean, I think if I tried that at the zoo with a panda, I'm pretty sure it's not going to fly.
Well,
No, pandas don't have wings.
We've got 2 of them at our zoo, and people want them out. So maybe you should try.
What? Okay, yeah.
Celebrities putting their nose where they shouldn't.
It's fine. Like I have very strong stances on pandas, and don't get me started. Go ahead. Basall, not stealing animals, not getting me fired up about pandas. Go.
So yeah, Basall definitely doesn't. I mean, I didn't roll high enough to know to notice a threat. So Basall's carrying on like he normally does. You know, kind of looking around, ready to be there, ready to help. But I mean, he is 400 pounds and carries a giant mace. So if they try to hurt the group, I'm sorry for him.
And he's tall, and he can see.
Yeah, he's big. Yeah, maybe we can diffuse this whole situation just by don't mess with the mountain.
Don't diffuse situations. We've done this before. All right, that is our amazing cast, who I'm sure, for some deeply rooted psychological reason, I brought together to torment myself in the name of fun. But they're great, really. Can't wait. So let's get to tonight's episode. Episode 5, A Dynasty Sought. So 2 weeks ago, for the last show, the party started by being encountered by who turned out to be a former classmate. And in addition to turning out to be a former classmate, he also turned out to be a complete and total clown. He, having heard of problems with undead, orcs, and ogres, was constantly sending out adventurers. And when they didn't come back because of the potential for orcs, ogres, and undead, he made up this elaborate conspiracy that it was nothing more than the Lord's Alliance attempting to bribe his adventurers to make him look foolish, and all of the Forgotten Realms equivalent of tinfoil hat from the mayor's son. Having seen enough of his mental gymnastics as well as his poor treatment of front of house staff at the Green Rug Inn, they stole his money, a pretty significant coin purse with some sleight of hand, made it disappear, and a familiar, if I'm not mistaken. That's how that one went down. Tess made him sick more than once. Yeah. And after eventually just kind of completely outmatching him in negotiations, the party's basically going to go on a little jaunt, or as he calls it, a vacation excursion to the mountain resort town of Glister, which, to hear it from anybody else around Melvaunt, is the source of this recent uprising and turmoil just north of Melvaunt. As the party left, they're traveling through what looks like a completely deforested area. There are no standing trees, most likely cut down to fuel all of the forges of Melvaunt. And as they made their way into late afternoon, suddenly, who actually heard something? Banquo and... Was that it? You were the only one?
I don't remember.
At 29, there was
I don't
16,
remember if I actually
a
heard.
9, and
Okay.
a 2. Yeah, Basall might have.
Okay. At least Banquo heard what sounded like combat, battle. The clashing of steel, the kind of chaos and screaming and yelling, but off in the distance. And with that, we will pick up tonight's episode. So you stand there on the road. There's only one road to Glister from Melvaunt. And as you make your way, you can see a pretty good way. As I said, most of the trees have been completely cut down. Off in the distance, it gets a little kind of, misty, foggy. It's getting late in the day, so it's going to start to cool down, especially in the shade with the sun still up. And let's see. Okay, hold on. Oh, hold on. All right. So as you make your way down the road, you see giant 12-foot rock formations standing there, kind of off to the side, seemingly either placed there or just the beauty of nature to just put these giant columns in this space together. And off to, as you head down the road from left, right of the screen, off your left-hand side, towards the north as far as the map goes, you're going to hear this kind of commotion and, like I said, what sounds like battle. But with these large rock formations in your way, your vision, especially where you stand right now, you can't see anything beyond just these rock formations. What would you all like to do? You can also adjust your marching order. And then Tess needs to be on a horse.
I was about to say, give me a horse, sir.
We have a good token for horse.
I might. I have an ass of tokens, so I just might.
This looks
The thing I
like a
got is an
horse.
abyssal chicken. Hey, there you go. The
Is
beast.
that a hedgehog?
That'll work.
Oh, okay, it's a snake.
All right.
It's a big ass horse.
All right. All right. So, like I said, you see these giant rock formations, and the sound of clanging steel and battle and screams and all the things that you would have experienced firsthand seem to be coming off towards your left side, the north of the map.
So after I went invisible, I would use my boots to launch myself upwards so I can get a better view of the rock.
Okay.
And I would try to cast message, 6-second intervals to each of my companions saying, "Hey, there's something over there. Did anybody else hear that?"
Okay. You gonna somewhere over here?
Just straight up.
Oh, straight up. Okay. All right. So as you rise up above these giant rocks, you notice what looks like purposefully placed stones in the ground, not too high up, in a circular pattern. Perhaps the ruins of an old structure at one point, and then a little bit closer, nestled securely behind kind of the obscuring cover of these rocks, are going to be 3 very large tents, hide for the sides and the roofs, the supports made of mammoth tusks. And then give me a perception check real quick while you're up there.
That'll be a 28.
Okay. Very nice. So while you're up there, from the middle of the structure, you see what looks like a table. It's pretty large scale. A couple of, I don't know, looks like books, scrolls. And as you kind of rise up above, and you can see, or it seems that the sound of combat and all of that is coming from that table.
Huh. I will lower myself back down and tell everybody. I'll skip the messaging and just kind of speak somewhat quietly and tell them exactly what I just saw. leaving the invisibility up, at least for the minute that it will stay up.
Okay. All right. Basall, Daemion, Tess, Banquo flew up, gave you like a quick little kind of recon. Seems to be a little more than just a bunch of rocks. He's going to still be invisible, so it's just a disembodied voice for the time being. What would you all like to do?
I think Basall will move forward to try and see. Like he understands what Banquo told him, but obviously if he can help, diffuse the situation or stop something going on, that would be the path he would take. So he's going to work his way between the stones and try to figure out what's going on, what he can do to stop, assist, whatever the need may be.
As you make your way past the rock into the gap that you're currently in, you look and you see these tents to your left. You get this idea that they are much closer to a scale and a size of something that you could use, which is not really the norm in your life, I would imagine. Everything seems bigger. The tent seems bigger. The archway seemed bigger. The supports seem bigger. That these are for probably more than your average sized humanoid. Tess, all horseback, and Lady Godiva through orc-infested towns.
Isn't Lady Godiva the naked lady?
Is she?
Pretty sure she's the naked one, Manny.
I just it's a Queen lyric, man. I don't know. All right, sorry, no impression. I mean, you want to go full nudist? That's on you. Do you? But
I think I'm good at the moment.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like I mentioned earlier, you're on my horse, and I'm gonna need that real quick.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just gonna hop up there behind you.
All right, party.
So that I can cast Pass Without Trace on both myself and the horse.
Okay.
And so now any of us that's within 30 feet of either me or my horse gets a +10 stealth bonus.
Do you need me to get off?
No, you can stay. I'm going to get back off the horse.
All right. I am going to ready a healing word just because, hey, I don't really know the situation or if someone needs help. So if I see somebody wounded, gonna help them out. Okay.
Besides, but Uncle's a strong horse. He can carry 2 people.
So I just have to get up on this horse, do this spell, and all right, I'm out. Are we going somewhere? Oh no, don't be mad. No, I'm just gonna cast a spell and I'm getting right down. All right. So
do we want to move forward at all?
I was gonna say I'm gonna start creeping up.
Okay.
Behind Basall, just kind of covering his back while we move forward, and I'll point to everyone. I will verbally say, "Hey, let's go check out that table."
Okay.
And Peduncle will listen to you. So yeah, he's pretty smart.
Do you want me to put you on? Well, do they move together? No. Okay. Do you want to be on the back of the horse like this?
No.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I just wanted to share my spell with the horse.
Okay, so you did get off the horse. I thought that was a joke. Got it. Misunderstood.
Okay. As everybody makes their way a little closer, almost everybody by now should be within earshot that you should at least hear something. A commotion, a ruckus, a brouhaha, a Donnybrook, if you will. All centered on this table. The shape and size and proximity of these large stones makes it echo and reverberate through the woods, making it seem kind of a little more omnidirectional than it is. But as everybody makes their way through, it seems pretty apparent that whatever you are hearing is coming from this table.
Yeah, I will creep forward and get up to the table.
That's extra suspicious.
Yeah,
What's that?
Basall's going to do the same.
Yeah, I'll stay within range for the
As I
spell.
get this close, do I see any indication of more specifically where the sound's coming from?
It seems to be coming from near one of the books. Two of the books are open on the table. As you get closer and get a little more kind of aware of everything going on, everything seems a little taller. Table seems a little wider, a little sturdier. The books definitely seem bigger. You've got pretty good experience with books. These books would be unruly for somebody your size. Also, they're not the finest of bindings, kind of a rough hide binding, big kind of leather ropes, not the very fine book binding that you would find in, Candlekeep or somewhere, a little more academic, if we will.
Is there anything in the tents or anyone?
It looks there's 2 bedrolls in each. All of them furs, no pillow, just a kind of fur. Everything inside just seems like bigger. This 2 bedrolls for 2 people such as yourselves, it would be quite spacious.
I would like to cast Detect Magic, just to kind of, there's seems to be some clear magic working here. I just kind of like to see what we're working with.
Yes. What does it look like when something, dings your Detect Magic senses?
In I don't know if you ever played like No Man's Sky or like video games with a HUD for when you're looking at you're scanning something, but I think it kind of looks like that for Tes'serana, is like a little blurb pops out with some information on what she's looking at.
There is a very strong draw to your senses and your attention to an object on the table. It seems to be resting up against one of the books. Give me a perception check. You are 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just thinking if there's anything that I can do to be less bad at what I'm about to do.
Guidance.
Thank you. I appreciate you. And that's a natural 1 and another perception check, so I don't see anything with my magic eyes.
Maybe you should ask the elf.
So what, you legit got a 1?
I got a 1.
Okay.
Well,
2.
yeah, it's a 2 plus guidance, so a minimum of 3.
Okay, so in our campaign, nat 1 is not necessarily a fail.
No.
Nat 1, it doesn't apply on skills. That's only attack rolls.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, your modifier, I mean, look,
6.
don't get me wrong, your potential 5 is not exactly like a treasure trove of information coming
I
at
got
you.
a 6. I got a 6. Yeah.
Ooh.
That changes everything.
Well then, get a pen. Here it comes.
I got a pen. I'm a note taker, homie.
They can see everything.
All right, you got a 6. Like, I don't even know what that would be for my level 3 campaign.
Oh man, I had a portent I could have used.
You really want to use a portent on a perception check?
The only
she
other
got
one that I had was a
she
4.
got to know. You see, in this, very static and very present setting of what's on this table. The clouds aren't moving, the sun isn't moving, there is no movement out of anything, but yet on this table there appears to be something moving, maybe reflecting off of something shiny.
If I get closer, can I make an investigation check?
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna get a little. I guess hop off the horse and get closer to.
Get off your high horse and go check that out, damn it.
Yeah. I'll get off somebody else's high horse.
Hmm.
Can I see up here? Or do I need-
Accurate. Oh, ooh, wow. Oh, geez. Are you sure you want to get that close? Okay, cool.
I mean, if there,
Wow,
is
I
there
want to
any
get
kind
closer. I didn't know you meant like on top of it. No, I'm just kidding.
Is there any kind of warding magic I'm detecting? Because
No. And as you get closer, what you see is essentially a scrying orb. It's larger, especially for somebody like Tess, who's a little bit on the small side, but it would fit comfortably in Basall's hand without looking ridiculous. And what you see is, you can go ahead and give me your investigation check now that you at least see what it is.
if I have advantage on something, does it automatically roll the 2 dice on D&D Beyond?
No.
Okay, so I'll do it twice.
Womp womp.
And I still have guidance. Oof, not my best. 16.
Okay. With your divination background, as limited as it is, you're familiar with the Scrying Orb, and what you see in the one on the table is probably the image of another Scrying Orb it is connected to. It appears to be on the ground, and just from the view of the orb, there seems to be a large green hand laying lifelessly on the ground nearby. And just off in the distance, you can see this battle and commotion going on. There are torches, there are people screaming, but it is far off from the placement of the other orb that you can't get like too good of an idea. And also the auditory kind of senses that you were triggered as you came up are clearly coming from this orb now that you're on top of it. It's a little speaker and a little camera.
All right. Basall, I'm probably not going to lift this. Could you give me a hand?
Basall will move forward. Move forward and just palm it. Do we want to put it away, or do we need to use it for anything else?
Well, I'll point out what I'm seeing in the orb to everybody, and like, hey, here's where the sound was coming from, I think.
Yeah, come up to look at that, but also the books.
Is there any kind of way to tell where the battlefield is?
The kind of general, kind of foliage and sky color matches your present experience, the ground underneath you, what you see beyond the map, the color of the sky. So it would tell you it's probably close-ish. It's not the it's not the desert, which could be anywhere. A lot of things seem to match.
Do any of the books have like titles on them or any kind of writing on them?
No, they don't. They are all very crudely bound with like stretch tied, not even cut like nicely. So some of the corners are exposed. It's pretty large. The writing is large and seemingly crude. It is also very much not common as a language.
I'll go ahead and drop concentration on greater invisibility.
Okay.
And
So
I'll start. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just through the orb. We can see that this battle is going on.
Yes.
and we can see the people participating in the battle.
Define see you can see that there is a battle. In the same way that a fisheye lens distorts at long distance. The camera, your camera angle is also pretty shitty. It's lying in the grass. So you can see, you know, things, the kind of commotion and sound coming from the orb, you know, they match. It's not incongruous that, you know, what you could see and what you hear would be the same thing. But to say that, like, could you pick out an individual? No. Can you see who is fighting? Maybe?
I'm not trying to identify anybody, but I can see there are creatures and they are fighting.
Yes.
Do they look like humanoids?
Probably.
Hand is probably.
Swords. You can kind of see the glint of steel every now and again.
Final question.
Before we turn around.
Is the battle more than 90 feet away from the orb?
Yes.
Damn it. I'm out of ideas, guys.
I'd like to try something. I'll be right back. And Tes'serana with her flying boots is going to go, just because it's a long shot, but the area looks like where we are. So she's just going to go at 30 feet per round directly up and try to scout, like periscope style.
Okay.
And get an eye on the countryside, see if there's like any signs of battle in the area.
You can see beyond the kind of ground level mist forming what seem like large plumes of smoke. And not in the same way that Melvaunt gives off smoke in an industrial sense, but some things are burning off in the distance.
Does it kind of match?
It could be. Yeah, you would. You look up, you see the same kind of, you know, general landscape, foliage, plant life from here. The mountains off in the distance to the north, kind of behind the clouds, but everything would match up. The mist kind of obscures your ground view beyond a certain point, but
okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll head back down rather swiftly, and there's some smoke. Note the direction that it's in first, and then head down. Say, there's some smoke over this way.
It's gonna be. It's all gonna be like north.
North, thank you. There's some smoke to the north. Looks a lot like what we're seeing in the orb, but I don't have a definite. I don't know that that's what it is for sure.
Do you have any kind of distance estimate of where that smoke is?
Manny?
How good? Like, Tess good with distance. Travels a lot by foot.
Yeah.
Knows about what a day's walk would be.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Then
is it about it?
They appear to be a couple of them. One of them within a day's walk of you now, standing here, getting into the late afternoon. So within one day's walk of you currently, Tess, you would believe that you would come across at least one of these fires.
Yeah, I'll relay that information, and I would also personally like to thank you for not making me roll another perception check for that information.
Sure. Like I said, I just felt
Very
like that was
kind.
one of those things that would Tess know about a day's walk. I imagine at a certain point, adventurers like have a good idea of that. I don't. A day's walk is like my mailbox. I'm like, fuck you, I'm done. But nobody's, you know, employing me to save the kingdom. So with this, closing the door, I'm gonna laugh and then I'm closing the door in their face. There ain't no way. Your problem must be super unique if you need me. You need me to you need me to DM for this group, or else the world gets destroyed. All right, man, maybe. So as everybody comes down, this is how the world ends, huh? All right, cool. As you you settle back down. Everybody give me a perception check. Tess, sorry. You're going to be part of the group, though. I'm not singling you out. Anybody who rolls below their passive perception can use their passive perception.
Passive perception it is. 21.
Okay.
Passive perception it is 16.
22.
18.
Okay. You hear off in a bunch of directions as you all stand very close and huddled to this mysterious object you just found on the side of the road. That sounds like the scampering of wild beasts coming up very quickly. And from the north, the east, and the south, 3 giant moose just full on sprinting make their way out of the kind of vast deforested area before you and stop as they see you standing there.
How odd.
Yeah.
Like, why would they all come from different directions here?
Are any of them within 30 feet?
Of you?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm not gonna move closer and spook them.
I'll raise up a hand and kind of wave to number 2.
Okay. Are you going to move towards it, or are you just going to kind of
where I'm at, just kind of I look up and
okay, a little wave. It kind of does that thing where it like stomps in place like it wants to go, and you see it turn and look behind you, and as it does, you hear the heavy trudging of feet and the sudden overwhelming stench of rot and decay as these...
Oh, what the fuck?
Are those like undead owlbears?
They are, in fact, undead owlbears. They are rotted and decayed. They have cataract glazed over eyes. They appear barely sentient. Some of them missing significant portions of their body. Not exactly structurally sound in certain cases. But in each of them, they make their way blindly and focused on these moose.
Tes'serana goes back
Yeah,
into the
fuck.
sky.
Gross. I have no qualms about just wrecking some undead for no reason.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's.
All right, I was like,
Let's take these mooses.
I feel like it is time to choose violence. So everybody roll initiative, please. They are, in fact, undead owlbear.
That is
Woo!
awesome.
Jesus Christ, what is happening to me?
Daemion shows violence!
Nice, nat 20.
Do you have guidance to an initiative check? Because that's.
Man,
I think it's technically a skill check.
Yeah,
It is.
if you already had guidance on you, it would apply to initiative.
Yeah, I think I still have the one that I was given by somebody.
All right.
and you thought that you were going to do a perception check.
That'd be 9.
Wait, that's what you got with guidance?
I rolled a. No, sorry, hang on.
Oh,
It was a 7, and now it's 2. Or 7 plus 2.
9.
7 plus 2, because I have advantage, and I rolled a 5 and a 7.
Wow.
I would like to use my own dice, Manny.
Okay. Let me get a good field of numbers. Banquo, what'd you get?
I don't even remember I say now? 14.
14. Daemion, 20 what?
22.
22. Nice. Basall.
4.
4. Heard.
I have not rolled above a 10 this
Ooh.
session.
You'll get there.
All right.
I don't need your
So,
pity.
Don't you?
Daemion
I don't need anything.
is...
You know, on the bright side, I can't imagine there's a ton that I'll need to do, like, saves for against a owlbear.
All right.
Knock on wood.
I just...
One of them's an owlbear dragon.
I'm sitting right here. All right. Daemion, your enthusiastic choice of violence has been noted. Yeah, so there are currently 3 Mises and 4 owlbear. Ignore the order, the numbering. I didn't number them very well for narrative effect.
Bro, I know you did not just say Mises.
I did.
Hate these nieces to pieces.
I did.
All right,
Flying
well,
into the sky.
If I could have found undead squirrels, this would be moose and squirrel. But I want to at least pretend like I'm taking this seriously. So I did the next best thing after undead squirrels for undead moose and squirrel. I did undead owlbear.
all right.
I don't know why I'm not working. Oh,
Ooh. Oh, sweet. Oh.
I just
Keeping it
do
in
the
fa-
random one.
Keeping it in the family. Love it. All right, David, go ahead. Give me your choice of violence here.
First order of business, mount horse. We need to do violence at speed today.
We're gonna be efficient.
All right, let's see. Horse moves 25 feet. Bam. Followed by casting Booming Stab.
Oh, I guess I need stat blocks.
Yeah, that'd probably be important.
Oh no, I wrote them down. I don't
Just
know.
let us hit them until you think they're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, just tell me everything hits.
I rolled a 6.
That'll work,
Man,
too.
nailed it.
I could not roll a 6 if I tried. It's a 19.
Yes.
All right. Come on. Delete time. We don't like ones. Go away. 20 damage, a mix of slashing and thunder.
All right.
And he will be covered in booming blade energy.
Heard. So.
And I'm gonna.
All right.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was like, so I just remind me when I move because I'm gonna forget.
All right, then we're gonna keep moving over this guy, which would theoretically provoke an attack of opportunity.
From the first one, let's see.
From zombie owl creature
Yeah.
number 2.
He's gonna try to peck at you with his beak. It's not gonna get it done. 16 is not gonna get it done. Right?
No.
Okay. So it, with its somewhat decomposed, possibly brittle vertebrae, it just kind of like gives like a big poke at you as you and your steed bugger off around the backside. All right, go.
And then we're gonna do the same thing to this guy.
All right.
Hopefully. Come on, no whammy. That would be a whammy. It is a natural one.
Oh, for fuck's
I mean, still, go,
Wait. Question.
yes.
Is this moose the owlbear's enemy?
Ooh.
Hold on.
That's a good
Is the
point.
moose the owlbear's enemy? So you want this from the owlbear's perspective.
Yes.
It is the owlbear's food?
So they're fighting.
I mean,
You did say they turned to the moose.
yeah,
Not us.
they are chasing the moose.
And the moose is presumably going to, defend
themselves.
itself.
I mean,
or at
it's,
least try and flee.
yeah, okay.
Do moose
Like I
shit.
said, we just need to establish this line. But yes, these things have no intention of fucking fighting. In the same way that like a cow is not going to fight me, it's just going to run. And that's what they're trying to do.
That's fine.
Okay.
It's still distracted, and I am flanking.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Fuck you, Nat
If,
1.
I was saying, if it basically boils down to, it is more interested in the moose right now than it is you.
In that case, I am pretty sure that a 31 is gonna hit.
It hits it twice, and then some.
And,
But yeah.
and a little.
Just turned a natural 1 into a 19, boys. We did it.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
All right, so this one will take 16 damage because my damage dice are shit today,
All right.
and be sheathed in booming energy.
All right.
And let's see, how far did I move in total? 30 and 30, which I think is my limit. Yep, so I'm gonna stay there.
All right. And I'm out of tokens. All right, cool. That's that. All right, very nicely done. It is the moose's turn. They are going to move their 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Run, my moose friends.
They are going to continue to
Get the fuck out.
bugger off. So they're going to split. All right, that's it for the moose. Banquo, you are next.
Yeah, seeing that display of violence, I will follow suit. And from here at the table, I will go ahead and fire off 2 hits of Eldritch Blast
All right. At
the same thunder and
Okay.
energy number 2.
all right.
So 3 blasts times 2, so that'd be a 21,
Yep.
a 25,
Yes.
and a 14.
Actually, yes.
So this first one will do 15, second one will do 9, and third one will do another 15. So 39 force damage.
Okay. As
And then,
God.
no, go ahead.
Okay. As your Eldritch Blasts hit this undead version of a very recognizable and familiar creature, boom, boom, very dramatic, like impact. Parts of its flesh are rended off. You can see brittle bones snapping from the impact. But as the, relife, the spark becomes extinguished from within to let you know that it has passed, it casts away into a fine ash and dust, leaving nothing behind. And for some of you who are able to see it, the composition and manner of the dust in which it changed seems possibly familiar. Banquo, what else you got?
Well, that was strange, but I will go ahead and turn to the other one that Raz attacked, and
Okay.
I will follow suit and do another bonus action Booming Blade.
All right.
Or Booming Blade, Eldritch Blast. 21.
Yep.
20.
Yep.
And 20.
Yes.
For a, let's see, 13 plus 8 plus 9. So that'd be a total of 30 force damage
Yes.
on number 1.
Very nice. Same thing. It's like getting hit with a punch. You can see the momentum. Their body shifts as they're hit with your Eldritch Blast. In places more towards the kind of outside of the body, you see like huge chunks of just like rotten, fatty flesh flying off. The creature undeterred. Definitely slowed, swaying a bit, but there doesn't seem to be like a glint of sentience really in it. It just seems kind of mindless and undead lizard brain powered at this point. Anything else?
I guess I will. No, I'll just stay where I'm at,
Okay.
and then I'll end my turn.
All right. Tess, you currently have this surrounding formation of a combination of moose and what appear to be undead owlbear. What would you like to do? Have you picked up the orb? Basall did.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm tiny.
Okay.
How quickly can Daemion move on his horse? Can he, like, if one didn't exist anymore, would he be able to get to 4 or 5 pretty easily in a round?
No.
No? Okay, then I will
That's
focus
far.
fire elsewhere.
Like I say, that shouldn't make much of a difference, though.
That's far.
What do you mean?
As quickly as they're going down from the hits,
Yeah,
they may not make it to another round because you and I
True.
both still have to go.
True. I mean, I don't think I can get 2 of these down in the same thing as all I was getting at. I'm gonna go ahead and cast. I don't remember how undead and acid interact. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and cast Melf's acid arrow at 2nd level, number 5, since that one's the furthest from Daemion. Save him a little bit of running, which is a DC. Oh no, sorry, that's just a hit. I'm tired of the worst 10, but that's 20 to hit.
Okay.
Hits, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's gonna be. That's 3 ones on that roll. I do add 5 to that because it's acid damage, so that's 13 points of damage. And for my bonus action, I'll hang on to my bonus action for now, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my turn. I'll fly up 30 feet just to be a little bit less of a target.
Alrighty. Alright, just remind me that you're flying if I move anybody close to you.
Okay.
Alright, that is it. It is the owlbear's turn. Owlbear number 1 is going to take 2 shots. Oh no. Hold on.
Oh no.
Yeah, somebody really just closed a window that he needed.
Not my tabs.
No, what am I?
Okay, there we go. Sorry. Yeah. It's going to take a beak and a claw attack at Daemion. Ooh, oh no. A 19 to hit? No. No?
Nope.
Okay.
Can you do better?
A nat 20, yes.
Silvery barbs.
Oh.
Roll it again.
What? Fucking
Silvery barbs. Roll it again and take the lower.
fucking horseshit. Hogwarts
And I'll
ripoff.
give myself advantage on my next attack roll.
Oh. Well, I hate the spell already because my nat 20 turned into a fucking 5. Cool. All right.
I think that I'm gonna choose a different spell in that slot. I don't think Manny will complain just because I don't think we need 3 people with that spell.
We absolutely need 3 people with that spell.
All right.
All right.
We can only
you
do
say?
it so many times.
I can do it.
All right. That's
Times.
owlbear.
Well, yeah, you have more spell slots than I do.
Out of
Yep.
a clearing behind Daemion. Another owlbear. Oh, no, that's the one that's dead. Sorry. That's the one that was
Oh
dead.
crap! I pissed him off.
That was the
I
one that
shouldn't
was
have done
dead.
that.
No, this is the one.
Undead.
This is the one. So the numbering now makes sense. There's back to being 5 without one of them missing.
I had a feeling that was horseshit.
Yes. So that one comes up out of nowhere. This one is going to start splashing its way across this dirty little creek. This one's going to come this way, and then down here, one is going to come up here and cut the moose off. Yeah, that's everybody within distance of attacking. All right, Basall, it is you. Some of them have made your journey a little less strenuous by moving closer to you. The one up by Daemion is really not doing well. And then the one, I guess, closest to Tess, and probably by proxy you, is also injured.
Okay. Seeing 2 more pop out and these 2 move closer, Basall will move to just in front of Banquo and Tess.
Okay.
And I am going to cast Wall of Fire at 3rd.
Ooh.
On from 3 to 5.
Shit, yeah.
And that is 16 DC Dex.
You're gonna cast the oh, I got you. How long is the wall? 1, 2, 3,
120 feet.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Wow, that worked out really well for you. This is why we use the okay. So what? It's dex saves for both of them?
Yeah, 16.
Let's see. Oh no. I was like, an undead owlbear is not the most nimble of creatures.
Oh, John,
Ooh.
Yes.
the wall's only 60 feet long. You can summon it up to 120 feet away from you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hold on.
Let me see the math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Should still be
6,
just
7,
long enough,
8,
I think.
9, 10, 11, 12. It is literally just long enough. Okay. All right. One of them, number 5, rolled a 15 to save, and what? Number 3. Number 3 rolled a 17 to save.
Dang, one of them made it.
Hang on 1 second.
Do it, Robin. Do it.
Yeah, I was just making sure that you could do it on a save. Yeah, the other one rolls at disadvantage. The one that saved. Silvery barbs.
Silvery Bobs!
Silvery barbs.
15 plus 1, 16, still saves.
Damn.
Darn.
Hold on. All right,
Had
so
to try it.
3 saved,
For the memes.
5 did not.
Quick, Banquo, Silvery Barbs!
So the one that made the save takes 9.
Okay.
And the one that failed takes 18.
All right. And then... Okay. Does the wall persist, or is it just one big flash and done? Like, are the woods on fire now? Do I have to worry about that?
It's until I drop it.
Yeah, concentration spell.
Eh,
So we should probably draw
Hold on.
a big...
Hold on. I got you. Watch this. Boom. Boom.
Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Boom.
Here be fire.
Boom.
It's 5 minutes of watching Manny do this.
That's right.
Bang.
That's
bang.
right.
guessing.
This is me getting this is me centering. This is me being mindful. this fucking silvery barbs horseshit jamboree I got going on. You're gonna watch me make fire, damn it.
Oh, I forgot I didn't have to use a spell slot to cast that silvery barbs. I get it once a day. For free.
All right, look. All right,
Oh, yeah.
so as long as you're concentrating, this is gonna burn. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Up to a minute.
Got you. Okay. So you hit these 2 owlbears with this wall of fire. There is now a very substantial wall of fire in this kind of dead underbrush forest that you seem to have stumbled upon. All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's my turn.
Cool. Good. Love it. Shit's on fire. Cool. All right, back up to the top with Daemion. The one in front of you, very much not doing well. 3 currently standing in fire, 5 standing in fire, 4 untouched, and 6 really looking like it's about to eat.
They're all really spread out. I'm gonna have to try something different, maybe. I don't know. Can I make it? If
We're very invested in these deer.
if this one dies,
Uh-huh.
I can make it. All right. And I have advantage.
So kill it.
Yeah, better. I want it to die. It's gonna happen.
Finish
Come on.
him.
Finish him.
Fingers crossed. No crits, but 29 will probably get the job done.
Yes. Yeah, it'll get it done twice and then some. Just barely.
All right. 18 damage.
Go ahead and describe. You're doing this from mounted,
Yeah, horseback, baby.
slashing down on it. All right, give me how. Go ahead and describe your very well struck 29 fatal blow.
Yeah, I mean, he's been whipping around trying to, get to as many of them as possible, keep them away from some of the squishier members of the party. So as he whips around the rock, he swings up and then he swings back down, admittedly on a different turn, but that's fine. Time is a human construct.
It is not measured 6 seconds at a time.
Just booming blades right in half and apparently vaporizes his bones.
Speaking of vaporizing, might be an oversell, but it does not slump in a rotten pile of decrepit bones and rotted flesh. Just like you saw with the previous owlbear before, and perhaps something else, it fades into dust just as whatever drives it from within is extinguished, and it just... I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark. Off into the void. Very well done. What else you got?
All right, since he's gone, I don't have to move around him, so I can just make it to this guy who is apparently half on fire.
Yes. More so than the other one, for sure.
Love that.
He tripped over the wall for his dex save.
And we're going to try and hit that guy.
Okay.
That's a 30.
Yeah, I guess. Just barely.
Ooh, that's good. It sounds like it was a close one.
There's literally 2.5 times the AC.
And he will take 25 slashing and thunder damage.
All right. And as...
that was a good one.
Yeah. Go ahead and describe... are you just ruthlessly efficient? Just boom, getting it done?
Yeah. No.
Are you, kind of... you flexing on him? You got this. You're on a horse too, man. Like, go nuts.
I'm a Prismari student, so all my magic is a little unnecessarily flashy.
Love it. Love it. You're the spin move in the season finale of
It's
Boba
not
Fett.
even... He's not even trying. It's just that's how he learned to do magic. It's an art form, okay? It has to look impressive.
Advantage on performance checks. Not even a bard.
He thinks that jazz hands are the somatic component to everything.
And this spell too? Yeah, man. You had a teacher that was really mean to you. I want to see how many spells I can get him to do this. Spirit fingers, jazz hands. You just look very dramatic while casting magic. All right, as you strike down in your inadvertent yet slightly flashy manner, same thing. Just this kind of shambling mound, not in the literal Dungeons and Dragons sense, but in the more figurative sense. And just as it stops ceasing to be, it just into dust. Daemion, what else you got?
Oh no, that's it, man.
That's it. All right.
I had to push to my limit just to do that.
Okay. This moose is going to bugger off. This one, just so. This one is going to stand and fight, which I don't recommend. No. And yeah. All right. That's going to be it for the mooses. Banquo. 5 dispatched. 3 on fire, 4 on the other side of the wall of fire, and then 6 probably with not within. Doesn't look like anybody's within your movement.
Yeah, but he's got ranged attacks. He doesn't care.
Yep. So
Stand on the
Banquo is
table.
going to having seen these things run by, he's going to fly up his 30 foot of movement to where he can see this guy. About to take a bite out of this moose that's valiantly making it stand, and Banquo is going to cast Vicious Mockery on the owlbear, shouting out, "That moose is going to kick your ass!" And I need a Wisdom saving throw, DC 18, from the owlbear.
From number 6, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Mocking the undead.
Hey, owlbear, skeletal owlbear, +1 to wisdom. Minus 4 to intelligence, though. You can't, that one. So somehow you hurt this undead abomination's
Very
feelings.
vicious mockery.
Yeah, you hurt its feelings.
And it takes a massive 7 psychic damage, but it will have disadvantage on its next attack.
Okay.
And then as my bonus action,
all this for the moose, huh?
yeah. And then as my bonus action, I'll do it again. I'll just give it a double whammy of Vicious Mockery.
Hey, owlbear. Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. And so you'll need to make another DC 18 Wisdom save.
It's going to be a 6.
So that'll be another 10 psychic damage.
All right.
Is Vicious Mockery a cantrip?
Yep.
Yeah. It's like the bard cantrip.
Yeah.
No,
It's the Eldritch Blast of the Talkie Boys.
Yep. And I got both. And
I was about to
that'll
say
end my
that.
turn.
All right. That's it for Banquo. Tess, you've
All right.
yeah.
Yeah. this is
Owlbear
good.
number 3,
Oh.
currently on fire. Owlbear number 4 on the other side of said fire, and then Banquo doing everything he can to deny Owlbear number 6 this meal.
Yeah. How's number 6 looking from my perch up here?
The moose left behind.
Right? You guys will adopt anything. It's if we were on a scale to 100 with the grading system, it would probably be somewhere in the C- range of percentages.
It's the American school system. A C- can range a whole lot. How tall is this rock right here? Is this?
They're about 12 feet.
under-
Which ones?
12 feet? Right. yeah, you did.
The big ones?
The one between me and 6. Just making sure I can fly over it.
Yes, it is 12 feet high.
Cool. I'm gonna skedaddle over there, and there were like 8 things I was considering, and I should have written any of them down. Sorry. I'm gonna blast that fool with a spell, probably.
Are you floating? Are you floating above the rock, or did you fly up to like perch yourself and rest on the top of the rock?
Oh yeah, I should probably perch myself and rest on top of the rock, because otherwise I might not be in range on a spell. Let me figure out what I'm doing. 1 second. Sorry.
I'm not doing Pythagorean theorem. Just I'm telling you. I'm not.
I don't mind doing Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah, I'll do it. Google does it for you now. It's great.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
And they told us that we would never have a calculator.
I couldn't Google Pythagorean. I like it would probably take me a lot longer than I'm proud to admit is to spell it. I was like Pythagg Orean, Pythagorean. No bell. What up? I don't know.
I appreciate how long this bit has gone on because it gave me time to figure out what I'm doing.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
I'm your misdirection.
Yes. I am going to go ahead and use Toll the Dead.
Okay.
Which is a wisdom save. Why does this one have a wisdom save 17? Anyway, it's gonna have a wisdom save of 21.
Oh no.
It's gonna be a little rough.
I most assuredly did not get 21.
Cool. Then I'm gonna roll. Because it's wounded, right?
Yes.
Cool. I need to do my own dice then, because
It's a C- student. Follow the shitty analysis. Follow the shitty analogy.
right. Yes. That'd be 3d12.
Ooh.
Plus 5.
I love D12.
Yeah.
It's 5.
They don't get much.
Nice.
Yeah, this is. I just want to do higher than half damage. That'd be 17 points of necrotic damage.
Ooh, yeah, that didn't go well for you.
It does. Yeah, I have not rolled above half. Manny, can I please use my dice?
I need to feel the study. We'll revisit it later. Just buckle up. It's not going to get any better. I'm sorry.
Thanks.
He's
For
enjoying this too much.
For the necrotic damage, you can see bigger chunks of it like just start to just fall off as they just kind of shed like clumps of hair, except pieces of flesh, accelerating its deterioration. Tess, anything else?
No, I'm getting ready to cast a reaction spell in a second here or something because it's his turn next.
Okay. And you are feet on the rock?
No, I'm gonna be above the rock because I'm at a range of 60 feet.
Okie dokie.
So
all right.
how high are you?
I think. Just still 30 feet.
All right. Thank you, Pythagoras.
I know, right?
You are 36 feet away from the owlbear.
All right. It is the owlbear's turn. First thing Owlbear 3 is going to do is absolutely move out of this fire. It's 15.
Understandable.
Mood.
Logical
Nice
even.
day.
Okay. So it's going to take a weird grid-based 35 feet of movement around the fire to there and be able to do nothing otherwise. This one, doing a little bit of geometry on his own, is going to take it wide. And that will be it for the owlbears, as the wall of fire has frustrated my movement plans. And speaking of that, Basall, it is your turn.
Basall is going to drop concentration on the wall of fire. And on number 3, he is going to cast Toll the Dead.
Yeah.
And number 3 is taking damage, correct?
Yes.
A little bit from your fire.
Okay. And he needs to make a DC 16 wisdom save.
Okay. Let me just get this real quick while my ADHD is killing me. Damn it. Sorry, that was absolutely my ADHD. You need what now?
DC 16 wisdom save.
Okay. It's going to be an 11.
Okay. He takes 18 points of necrotic.
Ooh. All right. Same thing. Just huge, just chunks of meat and flesh, and maybe even like what do the hands look like? What do they have appendages wise? They're paws, right?
I think they're
claw,
paws, yeah.
Okay.
feather,
Claw
claws,
talons.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm going too much in this. Yeah, it's just going to start to fall off as it just kind of ambles its way forward, mindlessly just driven by whatever, like I said, like primal lizard brain powers an undead owlbear. What else you got? You good to go where you are?
Is he still up?
Yes.
Okay. Then I am going to take my movement, which was here. Do I have enough to get? Yes, I do. Then I am going to take my movement to him.
Okay. Just give him, occupy his time.
Yep.
How'd you do that, John?
What do you mean?
I thought you only had 20.
That was 20. It
Jeez.
was 20 to him and 25 to the other one. Yeah, because I was standing right there in front of the fire. Let's double check it.
Yep, that's 20.
I can't.
Well, it's 6 squares. It's because the scale on this map is so
Yeah, the
wonky.
squares are a little bit off.
Hey, this is pretty good.
Oh, it's a great map.
No, I didn't have to like really move your tokens like too much to that's my view of winning with the scale. So I didn't have to shrink everything down. All right, so you're gonna go stand in its way. Movement, action, blah blah blah. Cool. All right, back to the top with Daemion mounted. 4, completely unharmed and the closest to you. 3 up with Basall, 6 with its feelings hurt.
Manny, did the owlbears do anything?
They all moved. Oh,
What about
Turns
6?
before there was a turn before mine.
yeah. 6 didn't do. 3 and 4 moved.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, so it's going to roll with disadvantage against the moose?
Just on one
Where's it
attack.
rolling?
It's going to...
It's because of what Nick did, not what you did.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
All right, it's going to miss with the beak. And it is also going to miss with the claw. And then what are you doing to it?
Me?
Yeah.
It didn't hit, so nothing.
Okay. Yeah, it missed both times as it just kind of pecked and clawed at... All right, that's all of the owlbears. All right,
His
Basall.
feelings are so hurt.
Yeah, it feels completely inadequate. Daemion.
All right. Don't think they're just too far apart for him to try and cast stab on both of them. So he's gonna move up. He's gonna, for style points only, put his sword away and double fist some Eldritch Blast. Because there's something to be said for style.
For 4 or 6?
1 each.
Oh. Sorry. Sorry for asking dumb questions.
That's why he needs both hands, baby. Bam! But we'll start with 6, I guess.
Going Rocco and Boondock Saints.
Yeah, you get it.
The poor cat.
Style points. Don't talk about the cat. Oh, it's messed up. All right, moving on. Eldritch Blast.
We're doing 6 first?
Yeah, starting with 6.
Okay.
Yikes. Does a 15 hit?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
That's depressing. All right, 10 damage. 29 to hit for 7 damage.
Okay.
Sure, buddy.
All right, that one's got to miss. A 13's got to miss, right?
13 actually hits.
Wow. Okay. And that one's going to be 13 damage.
This is all still on 6, yeah?
Yep, those roll on 6.
It looks like it's been shot with a gun, just bah, 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 3 dramatic impacts. And as the last one passes through, like any projectile would through rotted meat, as it exits the body, with it comes the body just carried off as ash in the breeze. You just saved that moose's life, man.
Good. We can't lose any Mises today.
Okay.
Can't moose the moose.
Yeah. Who are we
All
going to
right, now
adopt
we
in
have-
the next party? This lily pad.
And now we have 3 for number 4.
Good lord. All right.
Okay, does a 12 miss?
A 12 does. 13's their AC.
Whew, okay.
I think he's just been steadily lowering the numbers to see how low he can get before he gets.
Under these bears.
Yeah, they're here for quantity. Just wait.
All right, so the 28, that'll hit for 11 damage.
Yes. Hold on,
And
4. Okay.
last one is a 24 for 12 damage.
Okay.
So 11 damage and 12 damage to that one.
Cool. That math adds up. Lovely. All right. You're gonna smash at it. It's gonna take like 2 big impacts. Hang your head in shame. As it just takes a walloping and just kind of stands there, ambling, ready to go. And you took your movement.
Yep.
Okay.
Just after my firing, I moved up, got up in its face.
Okay. That moose is gonna bugger off, and that moose is going to bugger off with its escape cleared by our heroic party, keeping it from becoming eaten by an undead owlbear. That's it for the moose. Banquo, it is you. They...
What's up?
Nothing. I'm just figuring this out. Okay. Yeah.
Be free, mooses.
You seem to be in the middle of both of them.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take a page out of Daemion's book and first one and the other one.
Okay.
So I'll launch my first Eldritch Blast up at number 3, aiming around the shoulder of my buddy Basall.
Pew pew. Pew pew. Pew pew.
That'll be a 29 to hit.
Yes.
A 21 to hit.
Also yes.
And a 28 to hit.
Double yes.
For 7 plus 13 plus 15.
All right. 3 is going to disappear in a hail of Eldritch Blast and fade to dust and drift off in the wind.
Nice. And then I will turn my attention to number 4 and do it all again. 3
Okay.
blasts. That'll be another 29.
Yep.
A 25.
Also yes.
And a 16.
2 beeps. Double yes.
For 11 plus 6
I caught that reference, Manny.
plus 11. For a total of 28 force.
It too, under the barrage of well-placed Eldritch Blasts, is blown apart in a hail of flying, decrepit, rotted flesh and brittle feathers before fading into dust, leaving just the party remaining at this site, and the only sound of commotion and combat being from Basall. What do you got? The orb, you got it like in a bag?
No, I'm holding it. Still.
You still got it in your hand? Okay.
Yeah.
That being the only sound that you can hear aside from maybe like deep breaths by yourselves, or everybody kind of looking around, but the only sound is currently the sound coming from the orb.
And so I stopped using up charge on my boots.
I need to ask my favorite D&D question. Did anyone in the party take any damage?
Nope.
What's damage?
Neither did the moose.
Yeah.
The moose escaped unscathed.
We are the guardians of the galaxy.
We are the Lorexes. We speak for the mooses.
Oh.
The meese.
No,
No.
I refuse.
Absolutely,
You can't make me.
absolutely not. No, fuck
You hate these Mises to
Meese.
pieces?
Yeah.
Not about it. I have standards.
So yeah, with the fight worn down, I would take this chance to take a closer look at these books. Always
Okay.
interested in books, though I am.
All right. Like I said, they're very large in scale. The bindings and the covers are a lot cruder than anything you'd really find, in any town bookshop or library, university. And then the language that they're written in is not common. The characters are different, and yeah,
I'm guessing it's not primordial or undercommon.
it is neither of those.
Okay.
Would it be Elvish or Halfling or another language I might recognize?
How many you speak? All of them? Which ones don't you speak?
The ones that I listed in Undercommon.
Yeah, people don't know as many languages in 5e as they did in previous
Yeah,
editions.
especially bards. Like you have to take a whole feat just to learn like a couple more languages, and that's a big ask.
All right, what languages do you speak? I can't think in the abstract here.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I do have it on my questionnaire sheet, but Elvish and Halfling and Undercommon.
Okay. It is none of those.
Is it giant?
It maybe. Or at least a. Okay, let's do it this way. Basall, do you speak giant?
Yes.
Okay. The characters seem slightly familiar, if not identical, to your knowledge. And some of the words are recognizable. Bits and pieces you pick up, but you can't just, flip through it and read it all.
Like Old English or something like that. Trying to read
It's
Beowulf.
there, but it
Beowulf.
would take some deciphering.
Some of the words that do stand out are you see this phrase, man in the mountain, more than a couple of times.
Do we have 10 minutes to spare?
Sure.
I am going to sit down upon the table and start ritually casting, throwing some like soot and salt around, ritually casting comprehend languages.
Okay.
And then once that finishes for an hour, I can understand the written language that I see, but I must be touching the surface and literal meaning of any spoken language I hear.
Okay. While Tess sits on the table, cross-legged, I would imagine. Are you dangling your feet?
Actually, yeah, that's way cuter.
I was saying,
That's more
I
Tess.
pictured you more of the feet dangling. So as you kind of dangle and kick your feet and concentrate on your ritual, what does everybody else want to do while Tess takes 10 minutes?
Saul's going to go grab one of the pieces from the bedroll and wrap the scrying orb up
Okay.
and put it in his pack. But he's going to make sure to completely cover it, multiple layers. Try it that way; it doesn't transmit sound and stuff from our end as much as possible.
Okay, and then you're gonna stuff it in a bag, like
In my pack.
wrap it in the bedroll, and then stuff it in the bag. Okay.
Yes.
I guess Banquo will hit himself with guidance and walk into each tent and try to just like look through them and see if there's anything that I can find, anything useful, any clues as to what happened here, or the inhabitants, or anything.
Okay.
Anything valuable.
All right, and then Daemion, what are you gonna do for the next 10 minutes?
I'm interested. You said that the particular way in which these undead vanished when they were defeated might be similar to something we could have seen in the past.
Yes.
So maybe it will be familiar to me. I don't know. I'll see if I can check the dust
Okay.
or what have you.
All right. While Tess does their ritual and everybody kind of sets about at a task, I think this is the perfect time for us to take our mid-show break. Excuse me. It's currently 8:39 p.m. We're going to try to take about a 10-minute break. We'll be right back to everybody watching. Thank you so much for watching. We're so glad to be back. And give us about 10 minutes, and we will be back for another crazy little encounter where let's see if they keep goading me. We'll see what happens to them. We'll be back in 10 minutes after the break. Hope to see you on the other side. Boom and boom. All right, we are back. Thank you for sticking with us through the break. Before we went to break, the party dispatched a bunch of undead owlbears while inadvertently saving some very important NPCs, otherwise known as the moose, that the owlbears were chasing. In the meantime, they found a book written in a giant-like language, to which Tess is going to try to decipher. Basall has grabbed the Scrying Orb and wrapped it up for safekeeping. Banquo going through the tents, and Daemion investigating the dust that the owlbears turned into once they were killed. Let us start with... We'll start with Banquo. As you rifle through the tents, you can see... give me a perception check while you're in there. We'll do it across like all three.
22.
Okay, good. Because if you rolled shitty, I'd feel bad. You've seen that these tents are designed to be kind of broken down and moved. They're not exactly like permanent fixtures here. And then on the inside, everything, for what limited stuff there is, seems to have been like abandoned. Like whoever was here previously and who lived or at least slept in these tents seems to have left in a hurry.
Nothing useful or valuable.
Nothing.
Left.
Like I said, just big stuff. Big blankets, big bedroll, some furs, but nothing of any significance.
Any personal, like not valuable but personable items.
Some
necklaces or
some flintstones.
Okay.
And an odd stick with what looks like a really large fish scale. Like,
Man, I swear I thought you were going to say some Flintstones and some rubble.
Yeah.
That's what I was like. I was like, Flintstones, is that the proper term? Because if not, we're doing the cartoon thing and I'm going to feel dumb. Flint rocks? That doesn't sound right either.
No,
It's just-
it's chunks of flint and
Okay.
stripes
Yeah.
of steel.
Okay.
You could just say Flint, you know, like.
I could have, but
So-
you all deserve more. You deserve better than just one word answers to things.
I
Um,
deserve the
appreciate that.
best vitamins ever made.
I
So-
mean, do we?
Yeah, fair. So after I, English bullied into this, you find some flint and a stick with what appears to be, like I said, like a quarter-sized fish scale. Like kind of.
I'll take the stick.
Okay. You don't want my magically described rocks to start fire?
Might as well.
No, don't take it from me, man. Like, you don't want him, just leave him, all right?
I'll take them.
All right, fine. But only because you want to, not because I guilted you into it. All right. Basall, as you walk back and from the table to the tent to grab a bedroll while Banquo kind of goes over the tents and looking at him, you'll notice that... Did you look at it at all? Or are you intentionally trying not to look at it?
I didn't look at it past what we did
Okay.
when we first found it.
All right. The whole time, it has kind of just continued with the sounds it's been making. No breaks of silence. Nothing out of place for as long as you've been there. You managed to wrap it up kind of securely, and then fit it in a backpack. But depending on what's in there, it's going to be pretty stuffed. Between the large bedroll, the size of the orb, and everything kind of wrapping it all up is going to be quite the thing. Your bag's probably pretty big. It's probably scaled to your size. So, yeah, no problem. All right, that's you. That's you. Daemion, as you go through the kind of residual dust that wasn't, blown away American Beauty style in the breeze, but was left on, blades of grass, a bit of the rock. It's very fine, and it is not... In no way does it have kind of a tactile feel to it, like sand or anything with a grit. It's just a very fine and soft. If you didn't see it come from what was once a living thing, you would think it was ash. And the last time something was kind of changed, I guess, status of being, where you saw dust like this, was when Basall tried to take one of the dragons out of the vault.
That is good information.
And we come to Tess. Your ritual concludes. You are filled with an infinite comprehension of over 3 million forms of communication. And as the answers flood to you, as well as a Butler-esque English inner monologue, the story before you is very crude syntax, but it tells a story that, with some work, some editing, almost sounds like a nightmarish fairy tale you would tell children, about a man in a mountain who hoards the dead, watches over a town, and should he ever grow bored, will release that horde and destroy the countryside.
I take it he got bored. All right, I will, as I get understanding, I'll read off the passages to my party as I'm reading them. Meaning in the syntax, not really editing anything.
Because of the size of the script, it's only probably about 12 pages, but there are no embellishments in descriptions. It is very matter of fact and straight to the point as far as it's written. No judgments, no real adjectives, no flowery language, and whatever limited capabilities the author may have had, but a very factual, boom, 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 accounting of this man in the mountain.
There were 2 books, right? Or just the one?
Yes.
Is the other one written in anything other than common?
Yes, it is.
Can I take some time and read that one as well? I have an hour of comprehend languages.
Yes. This one is in actual giant, not, like an abstract dialect. This one tells the story of a favored town that, as far as the author is concerned, is against their kind. There's a lot of "it will not let us" and "we." It's written in a kind of more thoughtful and intelligent manner. It tells a story with emotion and a much more kind of personal point of view of being excluded from this idyllic city from the author's perspective.
Does it read kind of like a diary or like a memoir, like something someone was meant to read?
More like a manifesto. There is like an anger and language bordering on like a call to action.
Is there any kind of indication of where the author may have lived? Like, is it saying like, hey, he's just kind of living like on the outskirts, like being able to see the walls, or does he perhaps live in a mountain?
There's no indication that it's a mountain.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot. The language is more we try to go as opposed to we come down from.
Okay.
As they talk about their experience, you know, I guess butting up against whatever barrier they're writing about.
Okay.
All right. So it's been a couple of hours between your investigation, the flawless victory combat. And so it's beginning to get to be dusk and nightfall as the sun drops behind some of the mountains off in the distance. Shade sets in and a misty fog as a kind of very cool ground level air kind of settles in. And as it gets dark, what would you all like to do?
Real quick, did we get an indication of which direction the mooses and undead owlbears came from?
They seem to just kind of... Some of them came from the north. Two of them came from the south.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
So...
aware but the direction of town.
Yes.
And the fire that Tes'serana saw, was that in the direction that we were, like, because you went up and you saw that it was a day's travel. Was that in the direction we were already going?
If you follow the road, yes. Like I said, everything, the map orientation is what messes you up because it's going to be an east to west for the road. That's why I made it like right at that bend. So this would be that one little east-west segment. So north is still the north of the map, east and west. It's just I needed that one little stretch of east-west road for this to make sense.
Okay.
All right.
Gotcha.
So it's everything is along the only road from Melvaunt to Glister, and during Tess's kind of aerial scouting high up in the air, they could see all the way to the mountains off in the distance. They're massive. So you're about 45, 50 miles away. So you can see these mountains and just the road just carved through what remains of the woods that have turned into essentially moors of Thar. All right. So it gets dark.
So I guess
go ahead.
So I guess the question is, do we make camp for the night or do we try and press on in the dark?
I mean, even if we did try and continue, we could only go for so long. We'd just end up being slower in the long run.
Yeah. The real question is, do we commandeer these tents or do we get out of here and find this place?
I feel like we're not going to find anything that's any more secure than what we have here. Like, the fact is, this is free shelter, seemingly abandoned. It's possible that the original owners could come back, I suppose. But I can post up Thorn to keep an eye out. I'm not that really concerned about it.
Yeah.
I would also be interested to see if this particular site draws any further attention. It does seem, I don't know, it's interesting that these specific books were in this spot. I'd like to
Yeah.
see if the owners come back, or I have a lot of curiosity about this place. It might not necessarily be answered, but
The old J.J. Abrams. All right. So we're gonna make camp here to attempt all of taking advantage of the natural and otherwise surroundings.
Yeah. Besides, I mean, let's face it. How often do we just stumble across a tent big enough for Basall?
Roomy
with
for him,
beds,
even.
with beds big enough for
Yeah.
me.
All right.
all right, let's treat the boy.
Okay. Does anybody have any weird sleeping things that would affect anybody actually taking like a normal watch or needing to take the normal allotment of watches?
Elf.
Yeah, I was going to say I just sleep half as long as everybody else.
Okay. All right. So let's see. You would need 4 hours. So essentially, you and Banquo could like split a long rest, right? And everybody be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. However, you would like to do your watches and the such with your own math, because it hurts when people have like the half sleep or whatever. Night comes. Off in the distance, every once in a while, you think you hear like the clanging of steel and the clash of combat way off in the distance. Is it the battle that rages out there? Is it the last little faint sounds of the orb that you have in your possession? But it plays even as it gets dark, even as it gets really dark, and towards midnight into the morning, late at night, there is the ever-present sound of battle. All right. Who's going to take first watch?
I will.
Okay. Dark vision. Anything I need to know about?
Dark vision 60 feet.
Okay. Our campfire. Anything to draw attention to yourselves, or y'all just sitting in the dark?
I think we're probably good, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like freezing cold out, is it?
No.
And my familiar doesn't have to sleep at all, so I'm just gonna have Thorn watching over us. He's got 120-foot dark vision, so.
Okay. All right. Test during your watch. Even though if it is the orb and Basall has it wrapped up in his tent, pretty good distance away from you, you cannot shake the sense that you hear this battle going on. It's not ever present, it's not constant, it's just every once in a while you're either lost in your thoughts or the night becomes especially still and you hear just an ongoing battle, as you've heard essentially since you almost walked up to this spot. The night goes by. You don't really hear anything aside from the battle, but this smell of burning wood, charcoal, kind of starts to fill the air, and especially weird since you don't have a campfire going. And then also, you have a sense of good sense of taste, like literal taste, eating.
I assume so. I can't.
Okay.
There's nothing that would be impeding it, to my knowledge.
There is a slight metallic tinge in the air. Just that, visceral biological reaction and sensation of metal in your mouth, just ever so faint as your watch goes on.
I was gonna say, as soon as the smoke smell started coming up, Tes'serana would take just a loop up and down into the sky to see, like, is the how high up does she go before there's like some obscuring on the ground? Is the obscuring like over their camp, or is it further out?
It's not the brightest moon of all, but against like the black background of the sky, the closest plume of smoke that you had seen earlier in the day seems to have died out, but the one further up the road, closer to Glister, seems to have intensified. It's far enough away that you don't see like a change of light like you would from, the flames kind of lighting up the area, but the constant billowing of smoke seems probably to indicate to you that whatever is causing it is a current concern. It is burning present tense.
And you said that it was kind of like did you say it was kind of like a blood metallic taste, or?
Yes.
Okay, so probably iron. Okay.
That's exactly the analogy I was using.
I think Tess would try and just tiptoe into Basall's tent with using the wand that she's stored some enhanced ability in to be a little bit quieter.
Okay.
With boosting her dexterity, and she would try to just take a look through the orb that we found and just get a feel for what's going on, if it's completely died down.
Okay. It too. So you're gonna look at it. You're gonna.
Yeah.
Okay. And you looked at it and like into it earlier when you walked up. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like when you walked up and realized what it was in your investigation, did you look to see what it was showing?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Because you had given us that full description of like the battlefield, the dead hand in the grass.
As you look at it again, it is dark, exactly similar to where you are presently, and as best you can tell, nothing has moved. Not nothing. The orb has not moved. It is still on the ground. The same green, lifeless hand kind of sits in the immediate view of it. And whatever motion or anything you may have seen earlier under the light of day is no longer there. But the sound is just ever present, just constantly, and has been since the moment you walked up on this thing. Anything else you want to do on your watch?
Sorry, I didn't have I was doing the temporary unmute and I didn't actually have that window focused. Yeah, I'm just gonna continue keeping watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your time, your allotted time to allow you to post watch and get your full benefit of a full rest comes and goes. Who is going to relieve you, or who are you going to ask to relieve you? Wake up.
What? Did we discuss that before bed?
That's what
I mean, I think I'd probably be done by now anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I'll go for Daemion.
Okay. And then after you took your gander at the orb, did you wrap it up and put it back?
I don't quite wrap it up. I will or not. I won't put it back, but I will cover it with the blanket just so it's not like waking anybody up if it gets loud again. That it's like a little muffled.
Okay.
I don't know if this thing like has the any light that it emits. But yeah, I'll give him the pass downs, give him the rundown of like, hey, there's some smoke. Hey, Glister looks bad. And that the orb is a lot of noise and not a lot of motion.
Okay. All right. So Daemion, at this point, you would have already gotten all the benefits of a full rest. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Tess fills you in on what they saw during their watch. Not only flying, but just the current status of the view from the orb. You step out, and as you wake up, your senses are overwhelmed by two things stepping out of your tent. One, that it is almost visibly either smoky, foggy, perhaps both. The air is thick and visible in the middle of the night, like a mist. There's definitely a smell of smoke and of fire. And you too notice a metallic taste in your mouth that, as Tess made the analogy, is a lot like blood.
Gross.
You're visited by the dentist in the night.
Oh, Jesus.
Roll for initiative. This NPC will be played by Steve Martin. Okay.
Is it safe?
Sorry. He had a plant with him. It's weird. Yeah, so you step out of your tent. Everything seems especially still. Dark vision, any of that fancy stuff?
Yeah, elf baby, 60 feet.
Okay. So in your... It's what, black and white, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. So in your grayscale view, the closer you get to like ground level, it turns an obscuring milky white that would be kind of, like I said, could either be smoke, fog, or the both of them.
Smog.
Look, man, I come up with stories. I don't put words together, all right? That definitely kind of obscures your view, not just because of darkness, but just the air. In daytime, you definitely would not be able to see as far as you could, earlier in the day. But yeah, you hear nothing. The ever-present sound of whatever the other end of the orb shows just persists. No dramatic change, no nothing, but just this ever-present sound of battle. What would you like to do on your watch?
I mean, is there anything particularly unusual about this this fog that you mentioned?
Could be anything.
Seem natural?
It could be. It's the fall. There's mountains off in the distance. You might be considered a valley. There's no trees or anything to kind of trap the moisture down. Everything just seems kind of clear cut. Dew point's probably a little low.
Probably stay pretty close to my horse just in case. And just try and stay attentive, make sure we can get through the rest of the night without anybody getting disturbed.
Okay.
Hopefully set out early.
All right. Give me a perception check. It's how diligent you are looking out while you're on your watch. Are you going to be on on your steed?
No.
Okay.
I forgot to mention it. If it's too late, that's cool. But I don't have a use for the enhanceability wand while I'm asleep, so I would have handed that off to Daemion to pass through the watches.
Okay. That's the baton.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like the cool thing about that feature.
Yeah.
Is you get to pass it around.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's really cool.
Here you go. You do something cool with this. All right.
Yep. Everybody gets an hour of coolness in the ball pit.
I want a ball pit.
Well, that's cool. I guess I can use that for wisdom. That's cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's 9 charges left, so go hog wild.
Use it for everything. I want to impress this tree with my juggling performance. What the fuck are you doing?
All right. So it would be a 17.
Okay.
Perception.
Just as before you went into your half sleep, and still daylight, the dead silence and stillness of the night hadn't set in yet, and the orb, the sound of it may have been lost in the shuffle as everybody's moving around and everything, but you cannot escape this just overwhelming and undeniable sound of battle. And based on the position of Basall's tent and maybe the acoustics of said tent, you don't really get like a source as to where this sound is coming from. Is it off in the distance, obscured by this mist? Is it just in the large orb in your companion's tent? But you cannot escape. It's not a bother. It's not. I mean, it might be annoying to you, but there's no physical manifestations of anything. It's just this constant sound.
Don't trust that orb. As a general rule, I just don't trust random orbs, but this one is particularly annoying. We just gotta collect everything we find, don't we? I mean, hell, I'm pretty sure I saw Banquo carrying a frickin' stick to bed.
It's got a fish scale on it. It's fancy. It's shiny.
That's my shtick.
Mine.
He found fish sticks.
All right, there you go. Don't tell Kanye. Yeah. So aside
I don't
from
get the reference.
just as the night goes on, still no passersby, no random, even wild animals, stepping on any of the brush or anything out in the surrounding areas. Just an absolute stillness and this real smell of fire.
Grouchy. But
Sad
stay the
paladin.
course.
Sad paladin sounds.
Yeah, just stay the course. Let him sleep.
All right.
Gonna need him at 100% tomorrow, I'm sure.
Okay. Are you gonna do watch all the way to the end, and let everybody sleep, or are you still gonna kind of go through?
No, let him sleep.
Okay. You stand there, ever vigilant, paladin-like, devoted, if you will. As the sun rises, and as the sun, peeks out over the mountains to the north and the east, and light hits this mist and fog early in the morning, it appears just like any other kind of mountainside or morning fog. You can almost see the droplets of water in the air. The smell of burning smoke has continued. But as best you can tell, the mist just looks, like fog, like mist. All right. So morning peeks out. To those of you in tents, you are going to notice that you are going to get really warm really quickly. These tents are very well insulated amongst itself, and as the sun begins to bake the outside, you will find yourself becoming quite uncomfortable quite early in the morning.
And I will get my ass up and don my armor and all that good stuff.
Okay.
That is an entirely different definition of wake and bake.
It's the other way around. Bake and wake.
Bake and wake, yeah.
Basall's gonna roll over and pack his shit up and get prepped. I am gonna go ahead and do Blessing of the Forge into my long rest on my mace, just because it's obvious we're setting out into potential violence.
Gestures vaguely about.
Tes'serana's gonna hop back on the table for her artificer nonsense, for her preparations. And I made a potion of swiftness, which will increase someone's move speed by a little bit for an hour.
It's
So
random.
that one, I think. What?
Your artificer thing. It's random.
It's random.
Okay.
I roll in the bowl because
Okay.
that one's like.
Okay, I was
don't
just curious.
think
It's
that
just- there was just an inflection of surprise that I was just like, huh.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. no,
How
it's-
convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very much a surprise for me, and it's exciting.
Does it work
and,
on horses?
Willing
it's a
creature is
drinker,
probably going to be
so
the catch language.
It says the drinker, so I mean, if it.
A creature can drink the elixir.
Besides, my horse is not a real horse. It actually can be willing. It has an int of 6.
It can also administer it to an incapacitated creature, which is mostly useful when it makes a healing potion. Mostly.
Here, be unconscious, but faster!
Down the hatch.
I also have a potion of transformation, which could be a fun one. I haven't really used that one much. It's more of like a battle one, and does anyone have any changes they want to infuse items? I don't think that I have notes on who has what.
I have a defense one from you.
Oh, so yeah. Which is cool if you want to keep it. I was just wondering if anyone wants something better than what they currently have, because I do still have that one slot open.
I've been pretty happy so far.
All right.
I get to recklessly charge at the face of anything I want because it can't hit me if it tries.
Be a little careful, but yeah.
And then they roll it at 20 and I say, no, you don't. And it's awesome.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty great.
All right. I'm gonna take your word for it. All right. So everybody kind of makes their morning preparations. Set off along the dusty brown road off to see the glister. I hate the Wizard of Oz. to be honest. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
Very well. Let's go ahead and let's switch it back to the map. All right.
Find glister on the map. I lost where we were. This map is too big.
Okay. Yeah, you're somewhere down here along this east-west track, and then glister is way up. Yeah.
Oh, we're
Fire's a day
Thar.
away, and it's a 3-day travel,
Yeah.
so it's somewhere in this channel.
So day 1 to about here. Day 2, all things considered. Nya.
Yeah.
Day 3.
Yeah.
Nya.
You know, like.
Yeah, see?
And then day 4. Yeah, see?
I see the mistake I made now. I was looking at Thay, not Thar.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, don't you worry, my friend. That will come. Yeah, I think that's that one's happening. All right, so
Yeah, my pronouns are Thay, Thar.
So as you make your way along the road, the first day before you encountered the you encountered a sign with a sickle and some blood on it. Here we go. As you move along, the same kind of barren landscape, trees make way to eventually just kind of, essentially like short grass, the things you would see like not like in a frozen tundra, but just a place where things just won't grow. A lot of short grass, dead vegetation, just barely above just exposed soil as you make your way. The mist still present. The smell of fire and burnt wood intensifies. And as the morning turns to late afternoon, the sun comes up. As you look off in the distance and overhead, you see this one large plume of black smoke off in the distance. And Tess, you would assume it was the one you saw during your little fly around the night before, and it is still one of the fires that you saw when you did your little peek during daylight hours.
As we're riding along, I think it's even the first time probably Daemion has heard Tess swear. She just kind of quietly goes, "Oh wait, fuck. Hey, you know how those things just vanished when they died?
Yeah.
There might be a chance, especially like if this man in the mountain thing is similar to what we've already found. What if we can't bring back proof? Like physically can't."
Well, I guess we'll see.
How's your drawing
really
skill?
Anyone can draw.
This is what we saw.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's good to think about, though.
Yeah.
We might be able to think of something.
yeah, I'll think on a solution. There are a couple spells actually.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out there as a non-interested party. I imagine it would not take too much to outsmart the man. So
I was gonna say, just say, hey, the proof's in this bag. Bam.
Hey, does this rag smell like proof?
Yeah.
200 proof. Yeah, there's some spells. I can think of something.
As you make your way through the day, we'll start with Basall. Basall, do you have any interest in or curiosity in the orb at any point? Do you check on it, or is it absolutely out of sight, out of mind in the bag at all times?
It's absolute object permanence. It's in my pack. Zero. We saw it when we got there. We checked it. It doesn't even cross his mind again.
Okay. So
Yeah,
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, if he doesn't have it, could Tess have it like in her lap while she's riding? Because that was kind of on her mind last night, was keeping an eye on it. Up to you.
So what do you think? You want to hold on to it, or you want to let Tess?
No, if Tess wants to use it as to keep watch on things there, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So Tess, as you walk along, are you gonna just be fixated on it, or like the occasional glance?
I figured, am I riding the horse again, Daemion?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I figured like, hey, horse is knows how to follow the people, I can mostly focus on the orb. Just
Okay.
kind of watch what's going on. Mostly for like any weird flashes of movement or like any distinct change. But
Okay. Okay.
also clearly like has other stuff on her mind at the same time though.
Okay. Noon is going to turn to mid-afternoon and eventually late afternoon. The air becomes very thick and almost hot or warmer. The smell of burning wood, the taste, the metallic taste in your mouth is going to intensify, as well as the presence of a lot of birds and the smell of what I imagine all of you are familiar with as dead bodies, or at least animal carcasses. Decomposing organic matter that was once sentient and alive.
Yummy.
Can we still see like the pillar of smoke?
Yep.
Or and how far do we think we are?
Within a day's walk as it gets to like late afternoon. You can see also off in the distance on the right-hand side of the road, Fanglaw's Hills, just a little cluster of elevation. The fire is basically just beyond that, which at this point would be, like I said, about a day's walk from here.
Careful of the bodies that we're passing. We don't necessarily know what turns the undead. And if we're getting like orc undead, it might be able to change anything that kills them. Or that it kills.
You continue
I mean,
on.
we found owlbears.
Yeah.
You continue on, and just as it gets to be late afternoon, your smell and everything really begins to perk up, and you begin to see the remnants of a fire. Things charred, things big wood ash kind of scattered about on things. And as you continue further a little down the road, almost the mist breaks, almost as if you just step through like a curtain. And at the end of the road, about 110 feet away from you as you walk through the mist, you see what appears to be fortified positions. There seem to be, the spiked barricades, as if protecting from something coming from the north, the way the spikes protrude. There's blood everywhere. You see piles and residue of ash, and not fire ash, the owlbear ash. And
Since
Dad?
We're about like a day and a half out from Melvaunt, right?
You're getting up to almost 2. So
Guys,
you're gonna be somewhere getting to be around here.
I'd like to at least send a warning to Melvaunt, because this is a lot closer than I kind of thought it would be, and I don't know that he's going to take it seriously, but he should probably have some idea of like preparing defenses. This is pretty close.
the second we tell him that we've found something other than what he wants to hear, he's going to start trying to discredit us. He's not going to warn anybody. He's going to call us liars.
Yeah.
We have a responsibility to try if it has a chance of saving lives. We can be as convincing as we fucking can. I don't feel if we don't try and people die, that's on us. If we try and he doesn't do shit about it and it goes bad, that's on him. And that's awful, but
if we try, and because of that, he convinces everyone we're lying, and this stuff gets to their door, that's on us too. We cannot just charge ahead because we feel like it's the right thing to do. We need to do what ends the best for those people.
what's the difference between if he lies and doesn't prepare and they don't prepare because they don't fucking know it's here?
He's the kid
Like,
of the
he's
guy
not gonna
in
take-
charge.
He's not going to take the walls down because we said something.
Did you meet the same guy I did?
Do you think that he has the power to take the walls down, the thought to be that spiteful? Do you think he has the brain cells to be spiteful?
Oh, you don't need brain cells to be spiteful. I think there's one person in that entire town that has ever been able to say no to him, and he won't.
Is there any... Okay, do we have any, like, sending spells? I don't agree that taking no action is the right move here.
If we stop whatever's happening here, then maybe that'll be enough.
There's
need to
6 of us,
find-
and there's a whole lot of fires to put out.
We need to
Sorry,
find
there's
something
fires.
more than this. We need to find something we can bring back. If we can find one person who is still alive,
So he can call them a liar? Like,
no, and we bring them back with us.
As
But no
So
one-
he,
No one's going to listen to
them...
us.
as you make your way
What?
through this camp, in the same way that all of the undead that you fought the previous day would show no sign of ever having been there, the devastation and havoc that was wrought here, there are no bodies, there are no invading forces, there is nothing except what appear to be 3, I think adventurer at the least is a reasonable guess, sitting up against the barricade at the end of this little kind of fortified position. All 3 with a trail of blood from about right here, neck, jawline.
Vampires.
Got enough evidence for you?
It's not about what's enough for me. It never has been.
You could lie to him and say we found anything, any kind of incontrovertible bullshit. And if he believes it and that's enough to mobilize him, net positive, he's not that smart. It's not hard to convince an idiot. We could even say, okay, here's an idea. We could say there's a Lord's Alliance army bearing down on him, mobilize the defenses. And then there's nothing but the defenses are there. He just doesn't know what he's defending against.
That's what I was just thinking, is some sort of decoy
Something that he
warning,
gives a shit about.
a decoy warning that will at least get him to double the guard or something, that won't give us away as truly working against him. Might give them more of a fighting chance than they would have had, and will enable us to continue on, satisfied that we've at least helped in what way we can. I think that's a good idea. I mean, we could tell them it's a horde of
and-
angry owlbears that are on their way or something.
If we go the Lord's Alliance army route, when it's not that's a strike against him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because he's going to announce whatever we tell him, especially if it's in his favor. If something else shows up, he is exposed as a liar. Also,
Yeah.
like, Tes'serana absolutely never swears, and I didn't realize how angry I was getting in character that I was swearing every 5 seconds. So that's how mad she's at right now about this dude.
What do you think of that, Daemion? We tell him that there's a Lord's Alliance brigand or something on its way.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll tell you what I do know. You guys can do whatever you want. I'm not stopping here.
I
Because
wanted to stop to send the message.
yeah, we think that there is something going to Melvaunt. But what I remember is what we heard about Glister and what we heard about Hulberg.
Mm-hmm.
And there could be people there dying right now.
Absolutely. I'm not saying we don't go. I told you what was going on with Glister last night. It's bad. I'm just saying we can give a signal to the people behind us while we go help the people in front of us.
Yeah. As we're talking, how far are we from these 3 adventurers in this barricade?
Probably about 40 feet. Just like I said, it looks like a fortified position, like in this road that they probably tried to make like a stand here.
Yeah. I'll start walking up to them and I'll cast See Invisibility.
Okay.
And just have a look around to see if there's anything and wait. I'll try to check for anything waiting to ambush us. And my intent is to go up and examine these bodies to see if I can figure out what happened.
Okay. They're going to be back to the barricade. So as you walk up on them, you guys you're going to be facing each other. The spikes would be going behind them, so they'd be resting their back against like the side where whatever came at them came from. They appear completely still. All of their eyes seem to be open and just sitting there with, like I said, what appears to be a very clear, or at least a consistent across all 3 of them, like trickle of blood coming from like right here.
I'll ask Tes'serana to help me examine these bodies to figure out what happened, and then I'll see if there's any usable equipment or indications of who they are, maybe in their stuff.
Okay.
I'll do an investigation check if I can.
Okay. So what? Just kind of see what's up with them?
Yeah, like if they've got any insignias, if they've got any magic items that are, I don't know, identifying or useful.
Right.
Or any clear signs of like what kind of undead killed them? Was it somebody with a weapon?
Yeah.
Was it
Is there,
something
like puncture
like
marks on their
owlbears?
necks?
Okay. As you get closer, give me an investigation or just a perception check as to what you can see. It's getting to be dusk, and so more is going to become apparent the closer you kind of get.
I'm gonna use
Yeah,
guidance on
myself
myself.
guidance.
Oh my god, that was almost 17. I'm so mad.
It'll be a total of 20.
Okay.
26 for me.
Okay. As you make your way up towards them, on the same side as their puncture wound, in the corresponding hand, at their side on the ground, you are going to see every one of them with something that looks like a dirk or a stiletto, a short, piercing weapon. It is going to be covered, the blade is going to have blood on it, and to a varying degree, whatever the weapon is in some way in their hand, whether like a firm grip but limp off to the side, or resting on the ground. But either way, all three of them have this weapon in the same hand that corresponds with the side of their neck that the wound is on.
Epstein didn't stab himself.
Yeah.
With my investigation check, or if you need me to make another one, can I determine, kind of I want to look at them and see, like, how do I put it? Somebody else making it look like they've done this to themselves. It would be at a different, like, kind of height and angle than them actually doing it to themselves. And I want to just kind of get a feel for, like, was this staged or did they actually do it?
Okay.
What do you need from me?
Investigation. And I imagine you're going to get really up in there, huh? Like.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All up in there. Too.
Okay.
Let me just double check that there's nothing super exciting I add. But I think just guidance for this one. Oh, hang on.
Hang on a second.
Yeah, I went, wait a minute.
Hang on, Governor.
I can cast things. Where's the...
Hang on.
You got your eyes of... You've got your eye thing.
Oh, yeah, that would already give me advantage. Never mind. Okay, yeah, then I'm gonna just roll as I got it.
Your Sherlock glasses.
Don't do me like this. Where'd the other die go? I hate the dice. Total of 20. This is killing me, Manny.
Okay. As you get up in there, you look. Every single one of them appears to be like as they would come in, like upwardly into the neck. The first two absolutely appear dead. The blood's dried. The one side of them is covered. The third one is not covered in as much blood, and his wound seems misplaced, if that's a way.
Are there any like signs of struggle in that third one?
You can see, like, if your face gets dirty, right? Like dusty, and then tears stream down. You can see, even after they've dried, you can see the kind of path through the dust that the tears would have kind of cut. You notice that on him. It looks like he has, like, whatever is covering his face, whether it's blood, grime, the ash, real wood burned ash. There are tracks, like pretty serious ones, of like tears.
This could have been like a last stand that they chose to go out on.
Oh, maybe we can ask them ourselves. And as I start going through their pockets, yeah, I'll ask Basall, can you do that trick again that you did in the cave?
You want to talk to him?
Yeah.
Which one do you want to talk to?
Let's go for this guy and I point to the third one.
Then I am going to cast Speak with Dead.
Okay.
On the most recently looking dead one.
Okay. You hear this, like, raspy, dry inhalation of breath. And, like, this just kind of stiff, kind of an unsteady thing, but it seems to have worked. And the eyes kind of dart around a little bit. but yeah, he is aware of the effects of the spell, and await your, what is it, 5 questions? 5 questions.
Yeah, 5.
Simple answers. I don't have to be truthful. What else?
Answers are usually brief, cryptic, or repetitive. Corpses under no compulsion to offer a truthful answer if you are hostile.
Okay, those are the
And I
only.
think they only know what they knew in life.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
haven't learned new information.
Okay. All right. 5 questions and go.
So Basall's going to stand up and kind of back away and let y'all.
You're the one who has to ask them.
Or do I have to actually be the one that asks them?
Yep.
Okay.
It's like you cast it on yourself kind of thing, but also on them. Yeah, you're our dead person translator.
Yeah. You got any ideas, Daemion? Tess?
I'm trying to think of the most direct way to kind of cut through and ask.
Yeah, because nothing I've got is like cut and dry questions.
Yeah. So I'm thinking some of the things that we need to know are,
What
did you
caused
do
their
this
death?
to yourself? But I don't want to, we might be able to word the question to where we can get more, like what happened to you?
Yeah,
Or-
what happened? What killed you?
Yeah.
What caused your death? Maybe
Yeah, what
gets a
caused
little
you-
bit more information.
Yeah, because if something like got him with a dominate person and it made him do that to himself.
So that's
Yeah.
so Basall
Or-
looks at him and asks
or
what
he gave
caused
up.
his death.
He kind of rigidly turns his whole shoulder to try to peer up and look at you. I didn't want to become one of those things.
What was that?
Said he didn't want to become one of those things.
I guess ask him what those things are.
What are those things?
Yeah.
The Horde.
Where are they now? Or which way did they go? Or
where did they come? What direction did they come from?
Yeah, he wouldn't know where they went because that would be after he.
oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Which
So yeah, which direction were they going? That would tell
Yeah,
us
which-
where they're
yeah,
from
which-
and where their goal might have been.
which direction were they going?
Down the road from the mountain.
I have a bit of a thought. If one of, because Speak with Dead only works on a body once, but we have 3 bodies.
Mm-hmm.
If these are guys sent by, I'll be honest, I don't remember his name. We could have evidence against him that he sent a lot of people to their deaths.
Yeah.
So do we ask, who sent you
Better
here?
question. Yeah.
Who
question worth
sent
asking.
you here?
High lizard folk.
Oh,
Lizard folk. I need to find my map of Thar.
Well, remember,
No,
the high lizard folk are like
Or
dragonborn.
Dragonborn?
Yeah.
oh, yeah. Good call. Good call.
And that was 3.
That's 4.
That was 4.
4.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What caused your death? Who sent you? Which
what
direction
direction?
were they going?
And what
So
were those
we're on.
things? Um, we could
Do we
ask.
have any idea where these guys came from? Or like, are they wearing uniforms or
Uh,
anything?
like I said, they would look like adventurers. They are not like uniformly dressed, but they have, you know, arms
Like
and
mementos from
armor
home?
more than probably the average like citizenry would.
We could ask him what manner of strength the horde has. We could ask. We could confirm that they killed themselves.
Banquo, did you go through their pockets? Like,
Yeah.
were you that guy?
Yeah.
In one of the pockets, you're gonna find essentially a different version of the same contract that you all have, without your personal addendums and the choices or the changes that you made specific to your situation before you set out. You can see a lot of the basis of the same essentially form letter in a piece of paper in their pockets.
So I think the last two questions are how many and what were. He said they were the horde, but what was the horde? Were they undead?
We already
We only got
used
one
it.
question.
Oh,
We
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got no other ideas, so might as well try to get more clarification on that if we can. Or
maybe
how do we fight the undead? I feel like the answer is just going to be you can't.
Yeah, because they have learned that they can't.
It didn't work out so well for them.
But if we could confirm that is what we're up against, I mean, we have a fairly good idea it is. But
may I offer?
I mean, we came out here looking for what?
Finish? I was gonna say that asking what strength the enemy has might offer numbers, might offer if they have spellcasters. There's room there.
Yeah, room for interpretation.
What were you gonna say, Daemion?
I was going to ask a question, but
I mean, don't stop. It's just that I was struggling to get that question out for a bit there.
I know we were looking for undead orcs. Wasn't there something else?
Ogres.
Ogres. Okay.
Yeah.
Orcs you could describe as a horde. Undead you could definitely describe as a horde. I'm not
Ogres,
so
not
sure
so
about
much.
Ogres.
Right.
A group of ogres are actually called a laughter of ogres. Little known fact.
One of my notes on the guy is just Jesus fucking Christ.
It was the most random noun I could come up with. A murder of ogres just seems too spot on.
Yeah. You get a murder of Kenku.
Yeah.
The business.
Yep.
Is it a murder of Kenku? I mean, I guess it should be, right?
So yeah, we'll go with the one Robin had. What was the strength of the horde?
Hundreds.
Okay. So we've got hundreds of a horde that came from the town in the mountains. And there's a risk of being turned into them. So much that death is preferable. These guys came from Melvaunt. They're on the same mission path that we're on. So I'm gonna be that guy even worse. Did they leave any loot behind?
They didn't. Their weapons are missing aside from whatever they used. And everything else, like I said, there's very clearly signs of a struggle. There's like stamped down ground. There's blood everywhere. There are no bodies. There are very clearly the signs of a battle having once taken place with a purpose for the barricades and the sparked kind of fortified position. But aside from your intuition and the very tangible sign of these three dead, there is nothing to say that anything actually occurred here. No bodies, no weapons, no nothing. Everything is just
Looking at the geography, do I recognize this from the orb?
It's consistent with the orb. The only difference is if Tess was to look at it like right now, there is no landmark or anything consistent with the view of the other orb, whatever it sees. But a lot, everything else is consistent. The ground, the kind of what, kind of pathetic, meager foliage and plant life there is. It's consistent with being in the area, but not this particular location.
We didn't see like the palisades and the orb when we looked at it or anything like that.
No. And if Tess was going to be watching it, essentially, or at least keeping an eye on it all day as you rode, Tess, can you track the sun?
Could I make like an intelligence check for that? She's not. Well, she does have a really good nature check.
Okay, then give me a nature check.
It's a dirty 20.
Okay. So. As you have traveled throughout the day, very clearly heading in a northerly direction, sun rising in the east, setting in the west, as you have been able to track the sun to your position in real time, you can determine that the orb is facing like a northwesterly direction.
Okay, so I'll let folks know to kind of keep an eye on the like left side of the road as we're going for signs of the end of a battle.
See if we can connect the dots on these orbs.
Or, well, I mean, either side really, because it could be to the orbs pointed in northwest. That doesn't mean that it's northwest of the road. Sorry, Robin is not as smart as Tess. Yeah, I'll just give that information that it's facing northwest. So at the very least, we know the body is to the southeast of whatever we're looking from.
All right. Do we just want to push on from here?
Oh, I guess the question to ask then is, if it's in the north, if it's facing northwest, what's the terrain that it's seeing? Like forests and such?
Just this kind of barren, moors is what I believe to be the proper like descriptor. Like short grass, things like struggle to grow here. It is just almost like a wasteland, but not sandy or rocky. Like I said, like a temperate tundra, Gobi Desert, that kind of thing. Just short grass, just struggle bus for things to grow.
Okay, so more keeping an eye to, no pun intended, keeping an eye towards areas that have that kind of topography.
Yes, which would be everything in the dirty, muddy, greenish brown on said map.
But I'm not going to look at like the big hills and like there was some forests and stuff.
Yeah, no. Like I said, you do have a view of mountains off in the distance. not
Yeah.
nearly as close as the mountains are to you and your perspective heading north.
Yeah. Really no way for me to round this down, but that's what I got.
As the night or the day kind of carries on, is there anything else you would like to do with these former adventurers?
I don't know that we can get much more information with simple questions than what we have.
Anybody think we should burn them?
There's
Well, we
a
Hang on to one for evidence.
large area of, I assume, at least some corpses. There's these three. Are there any other corpses of any discernible kind that we can see?
None.
Then I want to try and use my divine sense to make sure there are no celestials, fiends, or undead within 60 feet of us.
No.
Just want to make sure there's no bastards hiding out there
Mm-hmm.
watching us.
How to give 4 people you really enjoy spending time with trust issues in a matter of 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good news, buddy. I already had them.
Yeah, same. My goodness.
Joke's on you. I'm into that shit.
Not into that. Dude.
I'm very much not into it, in fact.
Mm-hmm. We want to burn these bodies
Yeah,
before we head out.
Keep the contract to show it to
Oh
Dipshit.
yeah, definitely good call.
Matter of fact, see if the other ones have copies of it.
They don't. It is just one
We
copy,
only got the one copy, I think.
but it is
Right.
signed by not only the mayor's kid signature that you have on yours, but it is on the other side has 3 signatures on it.
Can we read them?
They're signatures. They're like if you've ever yeah. They could be doctors for all you know. They could be Way of Mercy monks.
Doctors without murders.
Yeah. Doctors without corpses, or doctors with corpses.
I think I'll collect their stilettos.
Okay. Thank you,
And,
Assassin's Creed, for teaching me what that was.
Yeah.
I think Banquo just got some really nice shoes, actually.
That's why your shoe's raggedy. But I mean, I've got a flask of alchemist's fire, but I don't really want to use it on this. Does anybody else have a way of setting them on fire? That's easier.
You have Flintstones.
That's true. I do.
You haven't met the Flintstones.
I have Firebolt.
There we go. I just want to make sure. I figured somebody had a fire cantrip. I just don't.
Yeah, just make sure they're up against the palisade barricade and use that as kindling.
There we go.
Do we want to burn down the whole palisade?
Well, no, the ones he's talking about are like 6-8 foot stretches.
Yeah.
Oh, got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It's not like a full built out perimeter.
They're impromptu
Got it.
barricades.
Yeah, they
And I
cut
was
they
like,
cut
damn,
some,
all right, just
yeah.
arson.
Yeah, they cut some trees down, whittled down one end, and used
Okay.
physics to prop them together.
Understood. Got it.
Physics school.
Physics school.
Every once in a while, I learned that I might not know what words mean.
Yeah.
As somebody who tells stories for a living, you watch me do it every day. Flintstones? You could just call it Flint, Manny. What?
That's
you were
crazy
giving us-
talk.
I thought you were giving us vitamins.
Yeah.
Shot him with a gun bullet. You can just say bullet. Shut your mouth. So we're gonna light him up.
I think so.
Okay.
Apparently.
As you, Daemion, you're gonna do the honors. Firebolt.
Yeah, doesn't bother me none.
Okay. They're a little slow to catch. Obviously, things like hair, loose strands of fabric from underneath their armor catch fire first. eventually their tunic and kind of undergarments underneath their medium and heavy armor begin to burn. And you essentially watch, depending on your level of investment, 3 human beings cook inside of 3 metal shells, their skin blistering and charring and eventually kind of melting away as this suits of armor at their kind of open places for the head, arms, and torso just jet flames out. Smell of kind of sweet burning flesh fills the air, and for the first time in a while, you're greeted by non-sunlight as a means of producing light as it gets to be late afternoon in the fall. And it lights up a pretty significant area going forward, kind of cuts through the mist. And as it does, you kind of see the road take a trail a little bit downwardly. And as it does, kind of from this elevated position, you can kind of see absolutely the large fire burning off in the distance that you've been tracking for these couple of days. And what looks like large clearings and motion off in the distance about a day away. How long are you going to stick around? Are you going to wait for them to burn, or are you just going to make sure they're burning and then go?
Yeah, I think once I'm convinced that they won't be useful to something that's up against us, I would be fine walking away.
Okay.
But, I'm not going to speak for the group.
Before we go too much further, I will take a second to cast Aid on my 3 traveling companions here, because I forgot I had the spell. At the 2nd level, just to give everybody 10 temporary hit points.
Okay.
Please tell me you're hitting yourself with that.
I can only hit 3 people. Is anyone giving it up?
I don't need the hit points anywhere near as much as you do.
Yeah.
I give myself 10 temporary hit points.
When selflessness backfires, you're going to take those hit points. I'll be damned. I insist.
Well,
like I said, I appreciate it. I get it. So temporary hit points. The body's, well sustaining in a fire, and this view down to what, if anybody's been part of like a war or a large scale battle, would appear to essentially be the front of the conflict. The fires, the clearing, the motion, even if not, too detailed, off in the distance, say that this must be where the brunt of the fighting is taking place.
Well, alrighty then.
I think I know what Daemion wants to do.
Fucking ringtone.
Well, I guess we're in it.
All right. And as you look out and the bodies begin to burn, I think this is a good place to leave this for the night. You're halfway there at this point. We can kind of just hand wave a short rest or a long rest overnight. Anything you would like to handle in character in that downtime, you could do in the chat, or if you'd like, we could just pick up from here and start with the long rest next week. That'll be up to you. But you are halfway to your goal of Glister. I believe, like probably most sessions in this campaign so far. More questions than answers?
Yep.
Okay.
Nope.
Then I think that's good. Not really sure. But yeah. Okay. All right. So that was episode 5, a Dynasty Sought, as the party hit the road. Came across some things, learned some stuff, refamiliarized, slept in some giant tents, and have an orb that is...
That I am pondering.
All hail the orb. All right, so that has been tonight's adventure. As you can see, these are amazing players and playing very interesting and layered characters. Behind those characters, they are even better people. Before we go, we always get a chance to meet them, let them plug whatever. Let us start with our Speaker of the Dead. As a Forge Cleric, it's kind of it's in your wheelhouse, but maybe not necessarily, in case there's like a shop accident and you need to wake somebody up to be like, hey man, don't snitch. You just fell off that anvil, or the anvil crushed you in the head accidentally. So tell us about John.
Well, this is, I think, session 4 for this one. I've been playing here for 5. Is it 5? I don't know. I can't math.
It's fine. That's the one thing I do have to keep track of.
I've been playing here for a while, and I'm going to steal Nick's thing. I look forward to Wednesdays. That's absolutely, I think it may have been him earlier that said, what kind of sick bastard makes me look forward to a Wednesday more than a weekend?
Hump day!
He is 100% correct. And getting to play something that I don't typically play has been interesting.
The big gentle giant who carries around orbs.
Carries around everything.
Yeah, dead bodies. Tried to steal a dragon. You had the armor too. You had the
acquire for science.
You had the armor too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I still have it.
I mean, yeah. It's like if we were doing encumbrance, we wouldn't have to worry about it with you. But yeah, thanks. All right, Banquo, tell us about Nick. You burned some bodies. You stole, or you acquired, a stiletto.
Reappropriated.
Redistributed this resource. Yeah, tell us about yourself. And what's Banquo thinking going into what appears to be, the shit?
Yeah, he is just more and more curious. Like you said earlier, every time we answer a question, 2 more pop up, and that's what he lives for, is investigating mysteries and learning this kind of stuff. And this is already like the mother lode of mysteries when we stumbled upon this ancient dragon bolt. So now this other thing, he's even more curious, and he's just eager to find more information. And that's what is on his mind right now, is that he's not too worried about the fighting. He just wants to make sure that he can learn something from it.
Nice. Right.
As far as me, I've been enjoying your games for almost a year now, and
yeah, we're getting there.
Look forward to enjoying him even more.
I think we started the end of March with the one-shots.
Thereabouts.
Yeah, so we're coming up on 1 year for the second show as well. All right, as always, glad to have you guys. I missed you last week. Daemion, Mr. Goal-oriented. Yeah, so you're halfway there. Your proof is yet to materialize with Deputy Mayor Dipshit. Yeah. So what are you thinking going forward? Knowing, or at least seeing, what you believe to be the front of whatever conflict Deputy Mayor Dipshit set you out into.
I mean, I think you've got it backwards. There's been plenty of proof. It's not that it hasn't materialized, it's that it keeps dematerializing right in my fucking face. And that's kind of frustrating. Because, yeah, I mean, Tess has a point. It sucks feeling like there is no right answer.
The one person,
no matter what we do.
The one person you need to depend on is completely dependably undependable.
Just it's hard to find anything to latch onto right now.
Dude, you are really a particular kind of stupid that I'm really questioning your ability to accomplish anything. I don't know how to write that nicely in a letter to get somebody to act, but I'm sure that you'll probably come up with something.
It's really tempting to just go back there and make him publicly piss himself in front of the entire city.
Drag him out there so he can see. So it's like, I do that. I don't even have to get up. Boop. All right. Awesome. And last and not least, our compassionate member, frustrated by the circumstance, and I imagine in her own kind, polite way, frustrated by the stupidity of others.
I mean, no, she has fully started swearing, and that was like one of the character traits I wrote down. Does not swear. It's illegal. So, yeah, not very kind about her frustration.
Stupid people will do that to you.
Yeah. She's mad. What was the question? Sorry.
Your little outro. Yeah, like, I'm still seething.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I forgot for a second that we were streaming. I was just kind of lost in the game. I'm Robin, Bardlock Cafe on social media. Been playing for about 6 months, because I think that I subscribed the first time that I streamed.
Summertime.
Yeah. So it was like 50 degrees today. It was so nice. But yeah, I've been playing with these guys for a long time. Been playing just various D&D for a lot longer, and this is one of my like 3 or 4 weekly games, so it's always fun to have that broken up. So Wednesdays are really nice. Gets me through the week while I wait for the others.
Yeah, my week is all downhill from here. Busy week.
Oh, no.
But, well, it's the reason why I do my shows early in the week is because I'm a chef. So like my work life becomes my focus for the next couple of days. So like this is like essentially to my weekend. This is the last little bit of fun I have before I got to go be adult chef man.
I do not mind. I do not miss the restaurant industry. Being a banker's okay, actually.
Yeah, my gig's pretty sweet. It definitely could be a lot worse, but it's still the weekend. It's still a lot of work. So yeah, that is our amazing cast. Kind of like I said, in the thick of it as they make their way investigating this new little bit of information, the man in the mountain, while still kind of dealing with the mayor's kids' potential fool's errand. You set out to prove something that you may not be able to. And as we have decided next week, we will most likely get into whatever it is at the forefront of this battle. That has been us for tonight. You can join us here Tuesdays and Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, twitch.tv /GrowedUpGeek. Tuesday nights for Eberron Tranquility's Twilight, our political intrigue persistent campaign on Tuesday nights, and then every Wednesday night 7 p.m. Eastern Time for our high-level limited campaign, this one, Dynasty of Dragons. We're getting there. The mysteries will keep coming, but hopefully answers will start to come very soon as we continue along. To everybody who watched, thank you very much. To our friend Robin who resubbed, thank you. We appreciate the support. And to everybody, we'll see you next Tuesday for Eberron, back here next Wednesday for this show. Check us out on YouTube. New videos drop Monday and Tuesday afternoons. Until that time, we will see you again. Always remember, I like Dungeons & Dragons and the people who play it. See everybody later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.